Hello, I'm Elaine Davis, and welcome to VoicesEmerge. VoicesEmerge is a new podcast, and let me tell you a little bit about it. I have my notes, so bear with me because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. VoicesEmerge is about sharing diverse perspectives and experiences, particularly focusing on the women's journey. It conveys themes of empowerment, growth, and the importance of amplifying voices, the women voices. So you may ask, what is VoicesEmerge and what makes this podcast different? What makes this different is this is going to be real talk. This is going to be honest talk. And I will be having guests on. We'll be talking about some important topics, and guests will be able to provide their input, and you'll be able to provide your input. So as I tell you a little bit more about the podcast, I'll also introduce myself and tell you a little bit more about myself. So again, I'm Elaine Davis. I'm 58, and I live in Austin, Texas. So let me tell you a little bit more about the topics that we'll be sharing. One of the topics will be about health and wellness. We will explore physical and mental health issues, including the reproductive health, menopause, nutrition, and the mental well-being. What I'll be doing is bringing a doctor on board, and they will join me on the podcast to give us some feedback on how to maintain our health, how to manage as we transition and go into menopause, and also how to help with some critical health issues. To give you an example of that, I was diagnosed with lupus for about 15 years ago, and I manage it well through medication and exercise and rest. But wouldn't it be great to have a doctor that come on VoicesEmerge with me and share with how to manage some critical illnesses, how to manage our health as we age, and some of the things that we are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Another topic will be career development. We'll discuss navigating the workplace, gender bias, work-life balance, and strategies and professional growth. One of the things that's so important with career development is that as we age, we determine that are we still looking for opportunities for employment, for opportunities to grow, or do you just kind of want to stay where you're currently at in your role? But let me tell you a little bit about my work history and my background. I have been in operations for over 25 years. I started as an operations manager. I've moved to a director, and I'm currently a COO, Chief Operating Officer. I've worked for some large companies. I've worked for Nike, American Express, and Amazon. And I've also worked for companies with under 100 employees. So I have that well-rounded of experience that I can bring and share with you. Then also I'll have a guest with me as well that'll talk about some career opportunities and some career development. And another subject, we'll talk about education and lifelong learning. What does education look like as we continue to grow? The importance of education at different life stages. One of the things I want to share with you is my mom. She went back at an older adult and went back to school to get her GED. And then she went back and took some college classes. And so I'm excited to share what that journey looked like for her, and then have guests on that will talk about opportunities to continue to have that education in your life and opportunities to learn and develop, and what's available for us as we continue to learn. And another topic will be relationships and family. We'll talk about the dynamics of personal relationships, parenting, caregiving, and balancing family responsibilities. What does it look like raising small children? We'll have mothers that will talk about what that looks like. Then we'll talk about what does it look like that relationship once your children become an adult? How does the dynamics of that relationship change? Then we'll talk about, how do you treat people? And how do people treat people and then expect for God to continue to be blessing them? And that's that real talk. We need to talk about what those true relationships look like. And let me tell you a little bit about myself there. As I said, I've been married to my husband Archie for 10 years, and I live in Texas. And I have two adult daughters. My oldest is 35, and my youngest daughter is 29. And they both lived in Texas. And I wanted to share with you the dynamics of my relationship with my daughters. We call ourselves E3. And that's because all three of us have an E name, an E name. So we have this little saying where we're E3. And that's my personal family. But then when you talk about my extended family, I am the youngest of five. I have two older brothers and I have two older sisters. One of my sisters are deceased, but I have a very close bond with my siblings. We talk every day. Can you believe it? I talk to my brothers and sisters every day. And our dynamics is awesome. But I know that there are some families don't have it like that. So let's come and have a guest and share how you navigate the dynamics of relationship. And in relationship too, that's where you talk about love and being single and divorce. And just to give you a little bit more about myself, I was married for 21 years. I lived in Arizona, I lived in Oregon, and then when I got a divorce, I moved back to California because that's what I knew. You know, that was home for me. I moved back to California, and then I met my husband, in Texas on a trip, married him, and now I relocated to Texas. So, my thing is that I was there. I was single. I was dating. I was, divorced. I went through those stages and I know what that looks like. So I want to share that and real talk. Let's talk about what does sex looks like when you're out there dating, when you're in your 40s and your 50s and your 60s. That's the real conversation that we can have. And those are conversations that we can really get together and talk about. And I'm excited to bring that to you. And then also, let's talk about aging and longevity. We're going to discuss perspectives of aging and the importance of staying active and the value of wisdom gained through life experiences. I love that because as you age and as you go through life, we're going to have someone here that's going to talk to us about what that wisdom looks like as you gain these life experiences. Then we're going to have technology and digital literacy. We're going to talk about the role of technology in the women's lives and include social media, online safety, and digital. What does all that means? How do you maintain and be safe? And where are you at with technology? Are you like me where you get a new phone and you hand it to someone to program it for you? Or are you technical savvy? But that's important because as we age, we need to be able to keep ourselves abreast of what's happening. And then we're going to also talk about financial literacy. Where are you at with preparing for the future? Some of us are at the age where we're ready to retire. How's your 401k? How are your financial strategies? I will have a financial person come on board that will be able to share with us how we can prepare for the future and how can we ensure that our savings is where it needs to be. Maybe you haven't saved to where you're ready to retire, but how can you catch up and get yourself there? But these are some of the important topics that we'll be sharing. So now you ask me, okay, Elaine, you shared all these topics, so what's next? So let me tell you what's the next step with this VoicesEmerge podcast. So what's next is I want you to leave this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, VoicesEmerge. By you subscribing to my YouTube channel, it's going to keep you updated on all the new podcasts when they come out. You're going to be the first to see them. You're going to be ready to get all the great information that we're going to be sharing. And then also, what I want you to do is I want you to write down my email address. I'm going to share that with you, and then you're going to be able to real talk with me. That means that you're going to see something you like, something you don't like. You have feedback for me, something I can work on, something I can improve. That's why this is going to be a one-on-one dialogue. You may even want to come and sit on the couch and be a guest, and I'm open to that too. And then also in 2025, there's going to be a women's conference. This is going to blow you away. I'm going to have such a good panel, and this is where you're going to be able to ask questions. It's going to be here in Texas, but don't worry if you're not local because it will be online as well. So look out for the registration for the women's conference. Subscribe to VoicesEmerge and email me, Elaine at VoicesEmerge.com. Again, that's Elaine at VoicesEmerge.com. Thank you.